are things. Look at this. I wonder how close I...
Yes? You need it? Only those on official United Colonies business can access the building. The Vanguard should be able to provide you with work going forward. Stay safe.
Hey, Sarah's friend. You come to enlist at long last? Start earning your We're the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet. Any captain can join, regardless of origin. Get to fly your own ship and earn credits as you help the people, all while earning your way to UC citizenship. Put in the time, and Well, other than becoming a member of the greatest faction in the galaxy, you'd get access to discounted services on any UC world. Credits to help you get on your feet. You'd even be able to buy property right here in New Atlantis. Citizenship unlocks it all, and signing up for the Vanguard is the fastest way to earn it. Vanguard work is as needed. When we've got jobs, we'll make them available to you. But the work itself, well, it runs the gamut. Sometimes you might be hunting down hostile ships on behalf of the UC Navy, or you might be called up to help the Science Division clean up some invasive species. Hell, we've even been... And sometimes we just... Not every job's glamorous, wherever the UC needs. Well, all right. Take the elevator down to the Vanguard Orientation Hall. You can get started at any of the registration terminals. The system will walk you through the rest. And if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Registration accepted. You may now proceed through the historical displays in the orientation hall, or continue on to the examination.
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, an age of the United Colonies. From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more: independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230. The Free Star Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, after the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Free Star Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day. It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun was a faction unlike any other. A theocracy dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Janan Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade. Beginning in 2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade. Over the next 23 years, thousands of Free Star, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Varun in the name of their serpent god. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir, Jarek, that House Varun finally sued for peace. There remains, however, select members of House Varun who refuse to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Varun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space. Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Nerion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs, even bioengineered alien creatures, the infamous UC xenoweapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped. The Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since. Settled worlds were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nera. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nera remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war. Of the colony war, a different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinian. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies' war effort, Londinian found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators, the Terramorph. A rare but pervasive threat to all human-settled worlds, Terramorphs swept over the city, seemingly out of nowhere, on a scale never before seen in recorded history. Valiant efforts by the UC military slowed the onslaught, but the creatures proved unstoppable. Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the Londinian spaceport, sealing off the city, the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day.
I can't stop staring at it. A real Terramorph. Dad wanted me to apply for the administration track at school, but I'm going to be a xenobiologist. It's science division or nothing.
After the devastation wrought by the colony war, the UC and the Freestar Collective came together to ratify a treaty that became known as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xenoweapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research was sealed away, accessible only in cases of dire emergency. But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic security, agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon, known better as Ve Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions, bringing the colony war to a close and returning peace to the galaxy at long last. It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born. An official branch of the UC Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard member. Open to all captains, regardless of origin, the Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they may be. No one is born a United Colony citizen. Only through service to the UC can one hope to earn one's citizenship. But the UC prides itself on taking care of its people. Cost of living controls mean citizens pay less than their foreign counterparts for needs big and small. All citizens are issued a grant upon joining to get themselves on their feet. And only UC citizens have the opportunity to purchase property, getting the chance to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the settled systems. By joining the Vanguard today, you too can begin earning your place here, in the heart of galactic civilization, as a citizen of the United Colonies.
Welcome, applicant, to the piloting simulation chamber. Please enter the designated simulation pod to initiate your exam. This is the Mark 18 flight simulation chamber, applicant. Currently in orbit around a high-detail recreation of a remote world. When you're ready to begin, please take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your exam is simple. Defeat as many tiers of opponents as you can before your ship is disabled. You must defeat at least 3 tiers of opponents to pass the exam. Good hunting. Applicant.
New targets active. All targets eliminated. Progress required.
Congratulations, applicant. You've passed. You can head up to Commander Tuwala to receive your final results and your probationary assignment.
Well, look who's back. Everything go all right with the exam? Or did you have some questions you needed answered first? MASS is short for Military, Administrative, and Scientific Triumvirate. From here, the three co-equal divisions of the UC government work together to be that through mutual defense, political, and diplomatic. Now, serving any of the UC's divisions grants citizenship, but scientific and admin positions in the UC tend to be real competitive. Understandable. Most people would prefer to earn their citizenship behind a desk rather than... Not something I'd ever choose for myself. So these are your numbers that just came through then. You ready? Then let's get to them. So, looking at the data, hit every mural in the orientation hall, huh? A test of preparation and thoroughness. Two traits the Vanguard values highly. Psychological results are all within expected levels. Navy doesn't have room for folks that'll fall apart the first time they're trying to outrun a homing missile. Now, how'd you do against your foes? Tier 4, not too shabby. The techs make us test each level of the sim too. I can tell you that wave are some real artificial bastards. Good job putting them away. So then, looking at your results as a whole, and presuming you're successful in completing your probationary mission, you could have your UC citizenship after only 10 years service. Pretty standard for combat assignments. But your performance in the simulator does mean I can offer a signing bonus. Help convince you to join the cause. So, sounds to me like we've got Vanguard material on our hands. If you're interested, we could bring you on as a provisional member today. Get you the credits you've earned, then send you out on your probationary mission. First though, all UC service people, provisional or otherwise, are required to swear an oath. So, you want to make this official? Commit yourself to the cause of the colonies? Fantastic. Then just follow me. Wouldn't be right doing this where we couldn't see the stars. Now, raise your right hand. The motto of the Vanguard is Supra et Ultra, above and beyond. That is where we serve, beyond the furthest reaches of the United Colonies military, and with honor and duty above reproach. Do you swear to protect and defend the citizens of the United Colonies to the best of your abilities? And to uphold the values of the Vanguard, honor, loyalty, self-reliance, in all your actions as a member of the United Colonies Navy? Then let me be the first to officially welcome you to the United Colonies Vanguard. Now, only thing left is getting you that probationary mission. And what I've got is comms repair. Group trying to refurb an old colony war processing plant on Tau Ceti 2. Sounds like they built places as isolated as they come. So Brass wants a vanguard to deliver the repairs. So, can the people of Tau... No major settlements on Tau Ceti. No real active industry either. It's got the potential to be a pretty quiet trip. But there's a reason they wrote, "Here be dragons" on the map edge. So if it were me, I'd hope for the best and arm for the worst. And if for some reason you do run into trouble, don't forget. So, you ready to head out? Head down to the spaceport and talk to Crew Chief Harath. He'll get you the repair suite plus your new recruit kit. Oh, and your advance. Give it your all out there. Supra et Ultra.
So, check the water.
Saw your ship come in. Nice ride.
You're in the Vanguard, right? Hey, thanks for your service. Kill for a cup of coffee right now.
Managed to live back here at all. Bullet for leeches, get it fixed up, and let her know we'll have it ready as soon as we can.
Yes, sir.
Ah, you are new probationary then? Crew Chief Herath. Pleasure to be working.
It's my job to make sure all you rocket jockeys are ready for anything that comes. Now, Manifest says we're fitting you out with one comms repairs.
In addition to the standard issue welcome kit, all probationary pilot. Med packs, some small arms, couple spare ship parts, all the essentials.
My people will have everything on your ship before you lift off. So, nice easy one for your first job. Just keep... Any questions before you head out? Then I won't keep you.
Make us look good out there.
here. I'll unlock the door. Second floor, main building. Be quiet.
So what do we got here? Too clean to be one of the settlers. Or a pirate. UC on patrol, maybe? Of course you are. My hero. At least you follow orders well. Maybe you are military. Either way, we can make this work. I'm Hadrian. I came here on a rumor of a... Well, I expect... What's left of the settlers? The work of Oxysio Machina. One of the nastiest aliens humanity's ever crossed paths with. And this one, well, it's... I sure could. Because to confirm my suspicions... But there is a way we can get... The admin terminal's here in this building, but it needs its connection reset. But if you can make it to the security outpost and restore the connection, I think I can... Good. Once I see the connection reset, take care of yourself out there. And make sure you leave enough of that thing for us to...
System offline.
Connection restored. I'll make this quick. Plant's turrets took a beating, but I should be able to get you a couple of kill lanes. Just get the thing to chase you down the alleys between the buildings, and you'll lead it right into a crossfire. Oh, hello? Wish I'd found this earlier. You notice those sensors around the facility? Part of a livestock tracking system. Should let you keep tabs on how close the terramorph is. But it's not connected to this network. There should be a terminal in the adjoining room. Tune it to 183.5. Tracker's reading green. What's that sound?
Security lockdown is active.
Shit. Stop. Stop whatever you're doing and get in cover. It's on the move. Look, I wouldn't engage directly if you can avoid it. The kill lanes. They're set up but need power. There's breakers on each of the buildings you can throw to get them live. Once they're online, lead the terramorph towards the lights and watch the fireworks. You can do this.
Input required. Defenses restored. System rearm failed. Additional power required. Embark activated. Stand clear.
Trekker's gone quiet. I suspect it's either hiding or...
Wait. You did it, didn't you? Heavens above! You just flatlined a terramorph! Oh, yeah. Taken care of. No big deal.
You didn't happen to grab me a tissue sample, did you? All right. I spotted a microscope downstairs. spectrograph. This equipment, it's not set up to do a proper analysis of our sample. But this terramorph being here, of all places, it doesn't make sense. Humanity's spread plenty of creatures in our travels across the stars. Pets, livestock, pests. But terramorphs? They're different. To our knowledge, no one's ever spread them intentionally. Yet somehow, they follow us. So when humans settle a world, 70 to 100 years later, terramorphs tend to just appear. No one knows how or why. Dangerous, but at least predictable. Talseti, though, it's too young to have a native population. It's only been colonized 20 years? But then the other option, that someone captured one of the deadliest predators in the galaxy just to wipe out some settlers minding their own business? That seems awfully implausible. Which means we're either looking at a truly strange murder or a faster type of terramorph growth, the results of which could be catastrophic. Terramorph outbreaks have taken down far bigger colonies than this one. Well, they're not exactly buying tickets and flying coach. The theory is that they're spread by some kind of egg or seed that's able to evade our detection. But how the hell an undetectable egg turns into a terramorph without anyone noticing is a question no one's ever found an answer to. And it's why what's happened here could be real bad news for the rest of human civilization. They have. They even took down an entire city. It's the only known loss of that scale, but it's the reason why any change in our relationship with these creatures needs... You're right. We just need more. Time was, I had access to one of the best repositories of terramorph research in the galaxy. But we also need to get this sample properly analyzed. Luckily, I think I... What would you say to delivering this to him for me? I'd do it myself, but I need to call in some favors. Plus, maybe just pop by a hospital for a little. Clear it with your boss, or commander, or... You can even show them this. My gene tag. Tell them Hadrian Sanan thinks there could be more attacks on the horizon. That's all I'm asking. I need Dr. Percival Walker to put together a sample analysis for this thing. Full workup. I'm not sure exactly where to find him, but last I heard he was contracting with the Trade Authority on Mars. There's a place called the Sixth Circle in Sidonia. A bar run by some old friends. I'll meet you and Percival. And... here. Now please, go do what you have to do to get that sample in the right...
Look who's back. All set with that probationary mission? We can do your...
A terror? What? How did you walk away with the terramorph tissue sample?
You killed A terramorph. On your first mission. If I could be frank for a moment, holy shit.
Above and beyond doesn't really begin to describe it now, does it? Earned yourself some serious hazard pay on this one. But, if none of the settlers made it, who's got you? Hadrian.
Sanan. Let me check the database. Huh. Here we go. Service record. Wow. That's co-head of a UC Xenoweapons division. Faced tribunal at the end of the Colony War. And was dismissed from duty. Guess that's why I'd heard the name before. If she's former Xeno warfare, though, well, we can at least be sure she knows her aliens. Certainly seems that way. Did your survivor, Hadrian, she mention why she thinks... She thinks there could be... This has been one of the more... I did actually have another mission lined up for you. Supporting... But now I guess you have two options on how to proceed. Head to the UC Vigilance and help out SysDef, or deliver that sample. I'll make sure you've got the proper clearance. Consider these your first official order. And here, so everyone knows you're working with the Vanguard's also got some custom ship modifications. You'll be cleared for access to them next time. Now, if there wasn't anything...
Something on your mind? Look at this. I wonder how close I came to...
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good.
It's not much further. I think you'll want to hear what I have to say after we arrive at the waterfall. I thought you'd never ask. If you'll just bear with me. It's not much further. I think if you'll just bear with me. It's not much further. All right, but be careful. It's not much further. Sure, It's not much further. If you'll just bear with... It's not much further. If you'll just bear with
I know
me.
people say it's a scam.
I promise. I'll explain.
Give it a shot.
It's not much further. If you'll just bear with me. I promise I'll explain everything.
I agree. Performance and safety features will appeal to a lot of different markets. You know, I like the Terrabrew uniform so much, I might actually become a barista just to wear one.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you ever just feel like none of this matters? Like, what's the point?
Oh, yeah?
It's not much further. If you'll just bear with me. I promise I'll explain everything.
When's the report due, anyway?
Look at me. I haven't got a clue.
Had to cancel my vacation. Again. Sometimes that's just how things are. I'm telling you, you should meet my cousin. She'd be perfect for you.
Maybe, but I'm not ready to start dating just yet.
Okay, but I wouldn't drag my feet. It's not like she'll be single forever. A friend of mine bought this ship. It's literally called the Narcissus. So, I definitely think it's a vanity purchase.
Oh yeah, if they actually wanted to explore the galaxy, they would have gotten a Discovery.
Seriously, what do they even need a ship for? There's so many other things you can buy with those credits. Heard that the Ocean Industries is high. Could use the money.
Yes? What? I'm glad you're here.
Hello.
New Atlantis. I'm glad you're back. I was starting to get... I'll take... Okay.
Hope life is treating you well. Sure thing. What can I...
Oh, is that... Remember when I said getting the ingredients was the difficult? I may have gotten ahead of myself. I can mix a mean drink, I could run this bar. But you know what that takes? Oh, that's part of the plan, for sure. It just can't... And you have now outed yourself as someone who has clearly never attempted to jumpstart it. I need more than just a great product, which clearly I have. But I want to go big, large. Here's the situation. Opportunity is staring me in. This can be. So, I am willing to concede.
The wealthiest person I know is Walter Stroud, but I doubt he'd be interested in financing a distillery operation.
Oh, really? Well, we won't know if he's interested unless we ask. And by we, I mean someone in this conversation who is not. I am once again leaning on you, my very, very... You really are the best. I was being serious. If you know Walter Stroud, I think you should chat him up, pitch him. If he does, we are that much closer. And if he doesn't, then we figure out a plan B. Go team! Catch you later.
Excuse me.
So much to see, so much to learn.
You might actually need that later, you know. It's not much further. I'd be happy to carry a few things for you. Dropping. If you'll just bear with me. I'll explain everything. It's not much further. Bring me anything useful? If you'll just bear with me, I promise I'll explain everything. It's lovely here, isn't it? I've been from one end of the settled systems to the other. But this place, this exact spot, there's nowhere else like it in the galaxy. I don't know. I'm not sure I can explain it. Maybe it's the strange way that the art, technology, and nature fuse together, or maybe it's because it feels like home. Whatever it is, I definitely feel more comfortable here than anywhere else I've ever been. I hadn't thought of it that way, but you're absolutely right. I usually come up here to mull over some of the heated debates we have at Constellation. You'd be surprised how many decisions I've made on this very spot. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. I've certainly learned that you can't make everyone happy. Anyway, I didn't ask you up here to admire the scenery. I asked you up here because I wanted to talk about something very important. Good, because I have a lot to say. It's about my return to Cassiopeia. What we learned about Sona has been constantly replaying in my mind. Maybe it sounds crazy, but that young girl's isolation feels like a reflection of my own life. Maybe. But for how long? I've spent my life surrounded by all sorts of people. Constellation, the Navigator Corps. Hell, even the UC military. Despite that, no matter how hard I've tried to make them a part of my life, they tend to drift away and disappear. I suppose. Well, if that's true, this challenge is wearing me down. Yeah, sure. And who wants to take on that responsibility? You? Wait a moment. That's exactly what you're saying, isn't it? Sorry, I just need a moment to gather my thoughts. I know you want to have a serious relationship. You want to become close. So, if you're willing to take that leap of faith with someone like me, then I'm ready to do the same. I can't imagine being in love with anyone else. So, if you're willing to make the leap, I'm ready to do the same. You're something truly special. You know that? You've helped me conquer my self-doubt, my confidence, hell, everything. For the first time in my life, I feel complete. And with you by my side, I'm convinced that feeling will last forever. You're the best thing that's happened to me in my life. I love you. Always. I received a message from my mother a few days ago. She's returned from another one of her sightseeing cruises. Yeah, you know, one of those luxury liner journeys that shows off binary stars. Apparently, it's my mother's... Oh, of course. I'm sorry. We never discussed this, did we? The thing is, my mother and I don't talk very much. We're not estranged or anything of the sort, we're just far apart. Good. When I say that to most people, they look at me like I'm crazy. I don't think they realize how much control parents can exert on your life, especially when their dreams conflict with your own. In some cases, perhaps. In mine, not so much. You see, both of my parents were diplomats working under the flag of the UC Administrative Division. After I completed my basic education, they signed me up for a one-year apprenticeship in their department, without bothering to ask. Wanted isn't the right word. Demanded would be more appropriate. For my apprenticeship, I was sent to Sidonia. My job consisted of drafting political... The silver lining of the job was that it allowed me to spend time exploring every square inch of Mars. I was swallowed by it. Months before the apprenticeship ended, I dumped. Of course, my parents didn't approve. Yes, I was proud. You see, my father was killed during the opening shots of the Colony War. I returned to Jemison for the funeral and reunited with my mother. Aren't you sweet? Always concerned with how I'm feeling. That's why I fell in love with you. Your smile, your caring. It brightens even my darkest days. Listen, I'm going to be completely upfront with you. All this talk of family, it makes me wonder where our own relationship stands. You mean that? You'd do that? For me? I've been dreaming about this moment and still... I don't know what to say. Yes! Yes! Of course. Yes. I just need a little time to think about the ceremony. I have some thoughts about how we should move forward. You know, I used to dream about finding the love of my life. And here you are. All I ever needed was you, right here beside me. Back, eh? How's it going? Sure, but you better not make me cry. I don't deserve someone as amazing as you. How the hell did I get so lucky? Damn. I'm starting to enjoy the conversation. If you need something, I've got your back. Don't stay away too long. Now that we're here, perhaps we could spend a bit of time relaxing rather than planning?
What's up? Hey, let me know when you're ready to take me along with you. Should only be a few years.
Well, there's no other people my age here at the... Actually, Noelle is pretty nice. She said, besides that, I don't really care if I make friends or not.
Don't worry about me, I'll be fine.
Oh, no. You have any idea how much of my time...
All right, let's get it over with.
It's not poison, right? Wouldn't be the first time someone tried it. I'm kidding. All right. Simple. If it were anyone else, I might be inclined to nod politely, express some vague enthusiasm. But I think you and I... All right, here's what you're going to do. Go pay a visit to my lovely wife in Neon and tell her I said I've been thinking about reread. You do that, and we'll get the necessary paperwork underway.
Are you working toward that next technological leap? Then let Ryujin Industries in a dangerous galaxy.
Well, with all signs pointing to the Astral Lounge, I suppose we should pay it a visit. Purely for exploratory purposes, of course. If Benjamin Bayou's ego was as combustible as helium-3. I've heard that Benjamin Bayou has a private penthouse at the top of the tower. The view from up there must be breathtaking. Stroud Eklund makes some of the finest ships in the settled systems. I'd love to get a look at their operations.
Feel free to look around. Stroud Eklund is the peak of ship manufacturing design. Oh, has he now? My dear young man, what have you talked him into? Yes, I gathered as much. Back before Walter and I married, he confessed that he had stashed away a credit stick in a copy of Around the World in 80 Days. Somewhere between a rainy day fund and a slush fund, he said he'd always had a bit of extra money set aside in case opportunities arose. I can't really fault him. They're his credits. He can do as he likes. But over the years, it's become something of a joke between us. When he wants to take a chance on something, it's his way of asking without asking if it's all right with me. I suppose it is. Sweeter when it pans out, but he does have a nose for these things. I'll draw up the appropriate paperwork for the funds. Oh, I'm afraid I'm always in the middle of preparing for the next board meeting.
Oh, interesting question. Neon is the ultimate playground for people who have money. And that means Stroud Eklund, as a company, doesn't believe in restraint.
A lot on your mind? Leaving? Oh, I see how it is.
You shouldn't inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple landings. Need some work done? You were able to land it.
Yes?
If I can get some buy-in on this venture, it...
Whoa. Okay, I just lost the ability to think for a moment there. Hang on. Whew, all right. But we can't celebrate just yet. We're going to need at least one... And that sounds a little rude. It's not greedy. It's practical. If I put this all in the hands of a single investor, whoever that is suddenly has a lot of influence. If I have at least 2 investors to start, then one person isn't pulling all the strings, if any strings have to get pulled. Have I mentioned I'm not great? So, having Walter backing us is fantastic, but I'd feel much better if there was a third. Very clever. You are kidding, right? You do? I mean, look, I would gladly take your credits if it means you and I can be partners on this, but I'm not trying to guilt you into it. So before you commit, I'm going... Wow. Wow! This is so amazing! It's you and me. Well, and Walter. But I'm sure it'll all work out. I'm afraid there's not much in the moment I can do to really thank you for this, but I promise you it will pay off. I've got some people to talk to, and a trip to Galbank in my future. Thank you again so much. Stop by anytime you'd like to catch up.
Just say the word, and I'll follow you, Captain.
It's funny. I bet I've spent more time exploring the Martian surface than roaming around Sidonia itself.
Building Sidonia completely underground was a clever way of keeping the city shielded from the harsh Martian landscape.
If you're going to use the elevators or stairs to reach the other levels, try to keep them.
Look at this place. I can't imagine being cramped down here, choking on the fumes and the dust. No trees, no grass. It's depressing.
Hey, I think we should meet up at Chuck's.
Hey, you looking for anything in particular? Yo, hey, what's up? You looking to do some shopping here at the trade? I'm Manaki. Feel free to ask. Cool. That's what we... Come back anytime.
If you're here to broker a deal, why don't you try something?
Invoices can be collected. Oh.
Do you now? Well, I do wish I could help you.
A shame, too. We had such high hopes for not the sort of work the Trade Authority traditionally does. But we thought I invested no small amount. But then he decided to run. I presume the miners have him hidden somewhere. Plenty of... but at this point... Dr. Walker decided to start brewing and selling his own pharmaceuticals to customers below cost. Something his contract expressly forbade. As such, we requested our cut of the profits and began garnishing, perhaps a little too severely, but well within legal limits. It was around then that he ran off. They were all devils. Red Devils. A UC Marine unit based here on Mars, though they were disbanded. I presume a number of them served alongside Dr. Walker.
That won't be necessary. The Trade Authority isn't interested. But we would like the money he owes us.
Oh, I loathe the Trade Authority. Is it absolutely necessary that we have to help them?
Why? I don't recall the exact figure off the top of my head, but... So if you were able to find him...
I couldn't have put that better myself.
Perhaps a little advance on my part might be... Visit the Sixth Circle, a bar on the lowest level of the city.
Broken Spear's upstairs. Go drown yourself there. This bar's for devil's vets in there. Doc Walker? You're barking up the wrong...
Andy, you. Why don't you come here and tell me what's so strange on Sweet Walker?
Not every day a stray topsider wanders into my bar claiming they know people. That's so. Now, if that tag's a forgery, it's a damn good one. All right. Maybe she did send you. But look, even if I decided I was going to help you get in contact with Dr. Walker, Percival made himself scarce for a reason. His debt to the trade authority. But if someone resolved that debt, can bet that person would make a friend out of Percival, and the... Well, the most straightforward way to take care of this debt would be to just saunter up to the authority and pay him direct. Of course, rumor is the trade authority keeps all their records. If someone was to break in there and adjust Percival's...
Making that adjustment would be illegal. I don't think this is a road we should travel.
But, one friend of Hadrian's to another, Sidonia's full of old utility spaces. Wouldn't be surprised if there was one, say, with an entrance behind the bar at the Broken Spear. Ooh, and you might need these. And I look forward to...
Hey, you may be Hadrian's friend. Come here. Heard you talking with Lou, so you're going to help Dr. Oh, no, I mean, I've got my suspicion. Oh, good. Percival's... Listen, I know how you can do it without having to resort to any... B&E. Aqueous hematite. Mars is full of it. People think it's just garbage, but Percival and I, we've been working on some, at least when he wasn't slaving away at his trade of... But we stumbled on a way to make it useful. You give our research over to Octai at the Trade Authority, it should more than cover Percival's debt. That guy's always looking for an angle. Well, yeah. We were never able to finish the research. Spacers moved in and ran us out. Started...
Oh dear. I believe I see where this is leading.
But if you can clear them out, I can walk you through how to finish the research. Then you can give it over to the Trade Authority. They'll get folks working in the deep mine. Jobs come back, I become a modern-day folk hero. Then I don't have to... Great. So access to the deep mines can be found outside the city. We'd set up right near the main drill. Once you've managed...
Hey. Pay for that. Damn it. Just getting started. Need a gun. Bring it on.
Access stairs lead deeper into the mines. I hope we remember the way back to the surface.
Nobody's gonna miss you! Just getting started! Ah!
Well, I suppose they're not going to lose anymore. Got all worked up for nothing. You're going down. Get some cover! Now! Hit him! Now!
Now to finish off the research, you're gonna need to collect a sample of hematite to run through the thresher. Grab a laser cutter and head back to the chamber where you came in. Once you've got a sample, thresher's the big machine in the next room. Password started is Ares 2330. Take care of all that, and we'll have Percival's name cleared in no time. All set? Good. You can take the elevator in that room back to the surface. There should be a key stashed in the thresher room, if the spacers didn't take off with it. I'll be waiting at the circle.
If you want help, if you have any gear... It's really good talking to you. Set aside anything useful and just leave the rest. elevators or stairs to reach...
The miners pretty much run.
You've got the slate. Reduced joint wear? Oh, increased lifting capacity. A dose of this stuff could make a miner... This formula's gotta be worth at least as much as whatever Percival owes. Okay, so here's what you do. Tell Octai and the Trade Authority you found a business proposal that will make miners more, and that you'll trade it to him for clearing Percival's debt. You good at doing... You can try if you feel confident, but I didn't want to push our luck. Besides, if... So, you... Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, and here, a copy of the formula for yourself, in case you ever wanna... Oh, use that if you can.
How's it going? Can I help you? Hey, welcome to the Sidonia Trade Authority. Yo, stay good out there.
You bothering me for a reason.
Was there something else? I don't recall the exact figure. If you're feeling... I'm never one to turn away an opportunity.
Aqueous hematite, iron and wastewater.
And exactly what does this... But where's this hematite coming from? Yeah, the deep mines could be an option. Well now, that is intriguing. A completely untapped resource pool. We could contract out all the actual lab work. Bring on one of the hungrier mining concerns for materials, and think what it would do for our image with the general populace. This mine. And what do you want for the right?
This is a promising find, certainly. I can... Was that it?
Dr. Walker's dead. Well, it would seem we... Here. We'll just be taking that slate before you have any second thoughts.
What was the name of that guy? The contact?
Yeah? Did you know? My end of the bargain then, I suppose. He's holed up in the old Red Devil's HQ. Place was sealed up tight after the UC shuttered our unit. But we snuck him in the back entrance. Was also going to warn you about spaces down there. Yeah, the passkey. And I'll let him know there's someone he owes one hell of a thank you.